尊敬的汪洋主席，尊敬的中央代表团的各位领导同志们，亏心自问主席汪洋缺堂，亏心自问中央我自错别我只能把堂，罗腿能把桌不能把，庆祝西藏和平解
The
放
commemoration
70周
ceremony
年
on
大
70
会
years of the peaceful
现在
liberation
开
of
始。
Tibet Autonomous Region starts now.
配席为颈椎当难，罗顿居口味，定制出勤，他的无足之言。请全体起立，
Please all
迎
rise
国旗，
to the national flag.
桑马压向若能，皆大肃举。
正保证。
升国旗，奏唱国歌，
Raise the national flag
接
and
大
sing
掌
the
门，
national
耶鲁
anthem.
公就。请坐下。
Please be
马旭
seated.
若能。出席今天庆祝
Today,
大会的
We're honored to
中
have
央
with
代表团
us
团长、副
members
团长
of
有
the Chinese Central
中共
Delegation,
中央
Head of the
政治局常
delegation,
委、全国政协主席、
Member of
中
Political
央代表
Bureau,
团团
Standing
长
Committee,
汪洋同
CPC
志。
Central Committee, Mr. Wang Yang.
中共中央书记处书记、中央统战部部长、中央代表团副团长尤权同志，
Mr. You Quan, Head of the United Front Work Department, CPC Central Committee.
全国人大常委会副委员长、中央代表团副团长白马赤林同志，
Bai Ma Chiling from the Deputy Head of the China Central Delegation.
全国政协副主席、中央代表团副团长 张庆林同志，
Zhang Qilin, the member of the CPPCC and deputy head of the Chinese Central Delegation.
中央军委委员、中央军委政治工作部主任、中央代表团副团长苗华同志，
Mr. Miao Hua, from the Central Military Commission and
以
deputy
及
head of the Chinese
中
Central
央代表
Delegation,
团的其他领导
as
同
well as
志，
other members of the
出
Chinese
席
Central
今天
Delegation.
庆祝大会的领导还有
With us are
西藏自
also
治区
are
党委书记、西藏军区党委第一书记
leaders
吴英杰同志，
Mr. Wu Yingjie from the Liberation Autonomous Region,
全国政协副主席、中国佛教协会名誉会长、西藏自治区政协主席帕巴拉格列朗杰同志，
Pabla Goli Langjie from the Tibet CPPCC Commission,
西藏自治区党委副书记、人大常委会主任洛桑江村同志，
and Losang Jeltsin from the Deputy Party Secretary of Tibet.
现在，请中央代表团副团长
And now
尤权同
we'll
志
give the floor
宣
to
读
You Quan,
中共中央、
the deputy head of the,
全国人大常委会、
Chinese
国务院
Central Delegation,
全国政协、中
to
央
read
军委
the
贺
congratulatory
电。
letter of Chinese central authorities.
Chinese 共中央、全国人大常委
The
会、
CPC Committee of the
国务院、
Tibet Autonomous
全国
Region,
政协
the Standing Committee
中央
of the
军委
People's Congress of the Tibet
关于
Autonomous
庆
Region
祝西藏和平解放
about the
70周年的
congratulatory
贺电
message from the
各
CPC
学员
Central
庆祝
Committee.
当年龙敦之花瓦的点击数据果皮，中共中央团借用密码推索越来委员香港，建设这个盘，借用司主，中央某月节气点击得听。
中共西藏自治区委员会、
The CPC Committee
西
of the
藏自
Tibet
治区人
Autonomous
大常
Region,
委会、
the Standing Committee of the People's
Xizang
Congress
Zizhi
of the
Ren
Tibet
Zhengfu,
Autonomous Region, the People's
Xizang
Government of
Zizhi
Tibet
Zhengxie,
Autonomous Region, the CPPCC
Xizang
Committee of
Junqu,
Tibet Autonomous Region, and the PLA Tibet
在
Military
庆
Command.
祝中国共产党100年华
On the
诞
occasion of celebrating the centenary
开启
of the
全面
Communist
建
Party
设
of China,
社会主义现代化
embarking
国家
on a
新
new
征程
journey toward building a modern
向
socialist
第二个
country
100
in
年
all
奋斗目
respects
标
and marching
进军之
toward
际
the second centenary goal,
我们迎来
we
了
are here
西藏和平
marking
解放
the
70
70th
周年
anniversary of the peaceful liberation of Tibet.
中共中央、全国人大常委会、
The CPC Central
国务
Committee,
院、全国政
the
协
Standing Committee of NPC,
Junqu,
the State Council, the National Committee of CPPCC, and Central Military Commission send warm congratulations and cordial greetings to officials and people of all ethnic groups and personages of all walks of life, to officers and soldiers of the
和
PLA,
消防救
the
援队伍人
PAPF,
员
police officers, firefighters in Tibet, and to all the comrades and friends who have participated in, assisted in, cared about, and supported Tibet's
帮助西
development
藏发展
and
进步的同志们、
progress.
朋友们，致以热烈的祝贺和亲切的慰问。
中共非让有做委员香港团，非让有做密码推索越来委员香港，非让有做密码师兄，非让有做司主，非每个抗击了。中国共产党以落节冲干了点击说他，制作人路听入警惕一个巧用的组织切别江郎撒巴的有个错吧。 罗家人为别的民生场所就不借给场地里，按照培习为经济党内让我对这话话了所需。中共中央他借用密码推索就来委员天干，第四级给旁借用西周中央某位借给培给密的卡给连接马做他连接卡给密的，培对密码经济码给归的吧，查证年度工地表嘛，接点连接年度吧，免税肉脚肉卡给归的不借他，提醒品种组织了提出他肉脚难给他。品种狂被亚军用我了，透过了他，肉让难听去，罗军他超不难把了，做什么可以点着他扎，咋子甚至是主义。
70年前，西藏
The peaceful liberation of Tibet 7 decades
是西藏
ago
历史上
marked
具有划时
a
代意
turning
义的
point of
转折点，
epoch-making significance in the
不仅
history
彻
of
底
Tibet.
驱除了
We completely expelled the
群
imperialist
众打
forces,
击了
dealt a heavy
各种
blow
分裂
to
势
all
力，
forms of separatist
有力
forces,
推进了
gave a strong boost
中国人
to
民
the
解放
Chinese
事业，
people's liberation cause.
坚决捍卫了国
We
家主
firmly
权，
upheld national
和领土
sovereignty
完整，
and territorial integrity,
维护了国
and
家统一
safeguarded national
和民族
unification
团
and
结，
ethnic unity.
而且开辟了
Also,
百
we
万农
opened the
奴
path
翻身
for
解
1
放的道
million
路，
serfs to stand up and
开启
become their
了
own
西
masters,
藏
and ushered in
繁
a
荣
bright
进步的
prospect of
光荣
prosperity
光
and
明
progress
前程。
for Tibet.
从此，
Since then,
西藏人民
under the
在中国共产
CPC's
党领导
leadership
下，
and
在社会主义
in the
大
big
家庭里
family of the
走
socialist
上了
motherland,
团
the
结、
people in Tibet
进
have
步、发
embarked on
展
a
的
path toward
康庄
unity,
大道。
progress, and
我
development.
短剧英文图，有了西为经济党问题，后期陆剧图，退入三十个退人点别，卡着有上是一点，间接人路给都说他这个党话他，卡这桥多拿走了东地差不党话，中国密码经济党也掐下了规避修建党话，第二个党王他，俺讲厂商了送给他这个钱吧，第二个恐怖机构了他，米里囤积了送给钱吧嘛些，行政制作家要让经济党为人不习对吧他。品种他的亚洲用为活动超为东南地域。对的来说，表给民盲党，中国共产党也估计我，制作人路每节天上奇妙那，团结他亚洲红别界的阳性加起为卓朗托绝育。
70年来，
Over the past
西
70
藏推
years,
翻了旧制度，
Tibet has overthrown the old system and established a new government.
实行民族区域
It has
自治
practiced
制
the
度，
system of regional ethnic
党的
autonomy
民族政策
and faithfully
和宗教政策
implemented the ethnic
全面
and
贯彻
religious policies of the
社会
CPC.
主义建设和
Its
改革
socialist
开放，
development drive,
深入
reform
推
and
进
opening up have made great
社
strides.
会主义制度
Tibet
实现
has achieved a
历史性
leap
跨越，
forward in its social system.
经济社会实现
It has
全面发
witnessed
展，
all-round economic and social
人民生
development,
活
remarkable
极大改善，
improvement in people's lives,
城乡面貌
and see
今非
changes
昔比
in its urban and rural areas.
实现了从黑
It has
暗走
realized
向
the
光明
historic transformation from
从
darkness
落
to
后走向
brightness,
进步，
from backwardness to
从贫
progress,
穷走
from
向富
poverty
裕，
to prosperity,
从专
from
制走向
autocracy
民主
to democracy,
从封闭
and
走
from
向开放
closeness
的
to
历史性
openness.
转变。西藏发展进步
The immense achievement in Tibet's development and
书写了
progress
中国共
is
产
a
党
vivid chapter in the
百年
CPC's glorious
光辉
journey
历程
and great
和伟大
success
成就的
of the past
生动篇章。
100 years.
罗顿几人，学徒冷路宁不多年，希望啥把走行，每日撒谎让就冷路，老脸打了他，当天每日戏剧他，去路戏剧，超有年老脸打了，制作人路给组织他，脚趾过瘾了，规别顶十单完，制作冷路了，路具人心也冲越冲啊他，变着了他制作，超有年狂别冲啊，明蒙的草一样都其他送完，创建了他创设的那把稳起来上完，提醒。每那呢，为这个确实绝吧他，纪律呢，压力个确实绝吧，预防呢，救助个确实绝吧，第二句呢，忙追确实绝吧，感动呢，过夜确实绝吧解，路具人心也不就是穷越， 为了狂别他亚洲给重这些不托把铁，中国共产党铁罗杰活动把为路就给人不他，拉进重这铁，虽然点别流行咱们图比。
党的18大以来，
Since the 18th CPC National Congress, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, with robust support from the rest of the country, and
西藏各族
with
人民
unity and hard work,
团结奋斗，
people of all ethnic groups in Tibet have solved many tough problems
解决了许多
that were long on the
长期
agenda,
想
but
解决
never
而没有解
solved,
决的难题，办成了许多
and
过去想办而
also
没有办成的
accomplished
大事，
many things that were wanted but never got
脱贫
done.
攻坚，
They have attained a complete victory in the fight
彻底
against
消
poverty,
除
eradicated
绝对贫困，
absolute poverty, and
同全国人民一
entered
道
with the rest of the nation a society of moderate prosperity with all-round progress and historic achievements in all areas.
当前，
Now,
西藏社会
Tibet
大局
enjoys a harmonious and stable society,
发展质量
ever
不
better
断提升，
quality development,
人民生活水平
rising living
全面
standards,
提高，生态安全屏障
increasingly solid
日益坚
ecological
坚实
shields,
民族和睦
harmonious relations
宗教和
between
顺
different ethnic groups
边
and
疆
religions,
巩固
stability
边境安
and
全
security in border areas,
党的建设全
and
面加
strengthened
强，
party building across the
社会
board.
主义新西藏
A socialist
呈
New
现
Tibet
勃勃
is
生机。
brimming with strong vitality.
党系朝鲜交给不错村，罗顿习近平系首先难为党中央系书面多边系物质他，也有民盟系手机解决了，而且美利卡的民盟村，团结别的他，书面别本的，舆论他最前上家，他最没头别干练忙大计，他最前把他，文件做对家，做没头别团结忙不行周边，为这搞着了，朝阳的一个托点，为不为那他这都没不随的，借用他娘托，朝阳的将军制作所决定。恰恰看了，乔德归年亚给从他落于人心系中这托别，明个了，培给起作用，西端点零一把他，狂别去比赛，军械没把他拖得松哇，民盟去草原球赛，乔用年拖得轻吧，点干点将松节，你的线点都松哇，米的西端他，球路南路赢吧，坦咱们撒点他，特给点将赢吧，当作用了乔用年，兄弟家信又把所给拖年，制作人路偏重撒把他。接到给别热度8万元。
70年来，
Over the past 7
西
decades,
藏翻天覆地的巨大变化，
the transformative changes in Tibet
没有中国共产党，
compellingly prove that without the CPC, there would not be New China and there would not be New
党
Tibet,
中央
and that
关于西
the
藏工作
CPC's Central
方针
Committee's
政策
guidelines and policies
是完
about
全
Tibet
正确
are
的。
completely correct.
只有坚持
Only by upholding the leadership of the CPC,
坚持中国特色
upholding the
社
system
会制
of
度，
socialism with Chinese
坚
characteristics,
持民族
upholding the
区域自治
system
制
of
度，
regional ethnic autonomy,
坚
and
持新时代
upholding the
党的
guidelines of the
治放方
CPC
略，
for governing Tibet in
才
the
能
new
实现
era, can
西藏
Tibet
繁荣
realize
进步，
prosperity and progress,
才能开
and
创
embrace
西藏
an even
更加
brighter
美好的
future
未
for
来。
Tibet.
老顿主人，后来南沙老多觉得比普及的想不出来，中国共产党没了，中国啥把没了，群众啥把没把他，后给那段过了去，党中央去这就谁就你，别的让他不赢吧，让就抗烈投别，中国共产党去国际他用他，中国天主电别制作人路给人路他用，每日撒光让用人路他用，对了啥别党去培养这就他用这钱呢，群众他的狂被用途不马些。后给中国路，台湾制度点么些讲，对同年人。
习近平总书记
General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speech at the rally marking the centenary of the CPC has pointed the way forward and provided fundamental guidance for the whole party and the Chinese of all ethnic groups as we strive for the second centenary goal. On a recent inspection tour to Tibet, General Secretary Xi Jinping fully recognized Tibet's achievements in all respects and gave further instructions on achieving lasting stability and high-quality development in Tibet.
习主席习近平提，中国共产党5年来落家科为点击首先托难为科技松懈的，当用它借用灭的卡的迷茫区，落家你别的民生主把它卡着三段它，作为西政策可能切约。越南，习主席习近平拍拖四个都是了撇个，拍起来段卡了托别冲击了，开两抗的那我马些，片中舆论德国他，比这托为狂别用完了，让在沙巴都难遇。
Standing at a new historical starting point, CPC committees and governments at all levels in Tibet must unite and lead officials and people of all ethnic groups in the autonomous region in these endeavors. Follow the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee and the guidance of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, strengthen the consciousness of the need to maintain political integrity, thinking big picture terms, follow the leadership core and keep in alignment, strengthen confidence in the path, theory, system and culture of socialism, uphold General Secretary Xi Jinping's core position in both CPC Central Committee and CPC as a whole, and uphold the authority and the centralized unified leadership of CPC Central Committee. Keep the country's top priorities firmly in mind, comprehensively implement the CPC's guidelines for governing Tibet in the new era. Stick to a development philosophy that puts people first and the principle of pursuing progress while ensuring stability, ground every effort in the new development stage, faithfully and completely implement the new development philosophy, serve and integrate into the new development paradigm, advance high-quality development.
中央去米里卡去列举把他忙走了，20年的去，习近平去推了三遍，中国科学电别基础领路去广播做对的前行，多些细事都懂了他，点水些点都懂了，松中泥土吧，各个团结一了点不掌握这些的，推了三遍，当去培养自主，超用年拉到去把他，民盟电话真别，狂别去广播他用去吧，点多亚别去那个几公司他用去吧，狂别短暂啥把它洗出的。 狂别去手起啥吧，恰上心，让他了，超用的拉到去吧。狂别东说啥吧，是不是他两这头把钱呢？不在托为狂别了，滚的当滚。
要深化反分裂斗争。
Step up the fight against separatism, foster a strong sense of the Chinese nation as one community, further ensure that the Chinese nature of Tibetan Buddhism support and improve people's livelihoods, protect the ecology of the world's third pole, enhance development in border areas, strengthen the organizations and political power of the CPC, and work on the 4 priorities of stability, development, ecology, and border management to ensure national security and lasting stability. Continued improvement in people's living standards, a sound ecological environment, and a more secure border. All these endeavors will become new, greater contributions to a new, modern socialist Tibet that is united, prosperous, culturally advanced, harmonious, and beautiful, and to the Chinese dream of great national rejuvenation.
中华民族极端草原都市顶部走过，汇聚南边中国间脱就我了规别动物，忙着了跟送他立就切吧，啥过来领的送把了送掉也不切吧，他咱们社会给组织了兄弟家吧，当地征走他希望组织了兄弟家吧这切托，点领他抗别严刚，他咱们到点节团结系的腾进点地切年，结个点家他舆论结果用啊他，迷茫给草原球在军界没把他拖了走啊。严刚苦留三娃，他咱们撒点他，透过点家用啊这千年，团结他99西边西端，制度这点别节奏领路听入间去偏重啥把组织他，中华民族拉间加大了去中国普通稳久的勇气，体位切位立即啥把对对应。
驻藏人民解放军
The PLA garrison,
武警部队
PAPF units, and law enforcement personnel in
是
Tibet
保卫祖国
are the
边疆
bulwark in safeguarding the borders of the motherland, maintaining national security, and sustaining peace and stability in Tibet.
要始终牢记
They must always keep in mind the expectations of the party and the people, carry forward fine traditions and conduct, scale up training and preparedness,
履行职责
perform
使
their
命
duties and
当
missions,
好党和人
serve
民
as
忠
the
诚
loyal
卫士
guardians of the CPC
巩固
and the people,
军政
and strengthen
军民
unity between the
警民
military,
团结
the government, between the
为
military
边
and
疆
the
巩固
people, and between the
民族团
police
结
and the people
经
to
济
make
发展
new
社会
contributions
和谐
to border
带领
security,
兴荣
ethnic unity, economic development, and social harmony.
查证引导工的，西政如何建立？每year他咱们松江他，结个点家松江，而且舆论结果了，个别当间结个兄妹更进行演变，他的怕松托，当他迷茫起俺就什么，一了点不讲的，实际点别随军他，就最上不特别动了他，马上摸着了兄弟结进，跟着他连跟住吧，当他迷茫起哈上他别松嘛也不行切吧，莫是他忙嘛，年度迷茫结娃的起团结所有的动物结切的。他咱们撒点他，每日团结，边疆的抗别，记住西端节用完了，切记啥吧，家土交关。
让我们更加紧密
Let
地
us
团结
rally
在
more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, forge ahead with conviction, enterprise, unity,
顽强
and
拼搏，
perseverance,
努力谱写
and make
雪域
every
高原
effort
长
to
治久
write a
安
new
和
chapter
高
of
质量
lasting
发展新
stability
篇章
and high-quality
祝
development on
西
this
藏自治
snowy
区
plateau.
繁荣
May
昌
the
盛
Tibet Autonomous Region enjoy
西藏各
prosperity.
族人
May the
民
people of all
幸
ethnic
福安
groups in
康
Tibet enjoy happiness
全
and
国各族
well-being.
人民大团
Long
结
live
万
the
岁
great unity of the
中共中
Chinese of
央
all ethnic groups.
全国人
The
大常委
CPC
会
Central Committee, the
国务
NPC
院
Standing Committee,
全
the
国
State
政协
Council, the
中央军
CPPCC
委
National Committee,
2021
and the
年
Central Military
8月
Commission,
19日
August the
宣读
19th,
完毕。
2021. The end of the congratulatory letter.
俺这，罗对习近平和苏新南为党中央和他国的托，团结特委同时协的，提升点拨别本亚人他，团结多在极度之内，兄妹别的给抗争杀到了，舆论结果他，不再托为狂别用为，留啥吧总肯都解决。譬如让讲说，他给平时所不用为民顿说，譬如给米利卡的密码，地地抗上用为民顿说，也用米利卡的密码，团结项目吃了的点把说，中共中央也用密码推出局内委员香港，也是这个框，也用西主中央某位建立，记录你到你纪律，到这边这9个人。
You're watching live footage from Lhasa. This is the grand ceremony marking the 70th anniversary of Tibet's peaceful liberation.
请中共
The
中央代
event
表团
is
团长
proceeding with
The head
two
of the Chinese
languages in a
Central
bilingual
Delegation,
way,
向
both
西藏
Chinese and
军
Tibetan.
区赠 现在，请中央代表团团长汪洋同志向西藏自治区赠送
a
贺匾。
commemorative plaque to Tibet Autonomous Region
吴英杰同志
and
自治
Wu
区人大
Yingjie,
常委会主任
Party
洛桑江
Secretary
尊同志
of,
接受贺匾。
of Tibet, and Losang Johnson, Deputy Party Secretary of Tibet, will receive the commemorative plaque. 请汪洋同志接贺匾。 And now Mr. Wang Yang will be unveiling this plaque.
请中央代表团团长汪洋同志向西藏
And
军
now,
区
Comrade
赠
Wang
送
Yang
贺匾，
will
请西藏军区
present
司
a
令员
commemorative plaque
王凯
to
同志、
PLA Tibet
西
Military
藏军区
Command
政委张
and
学杰
Wang
同志
Kai, PLA
接
Tibet
受
Military
贺匾。
Commander, and Zhang Xuejie, Political Commission of PLA Tibet Military Command, will accept the commemorative plaque.
请汪洋同志
And
接贺
now,
匾。
Comrade Wang Yang will unveil the commemorative plaque.
现在，请中央代表团团长
And now,
汪洋同志
Comrade Wang
向
Yang, head
武
of the
警西
Central
藏总队赠
Chinese
送
Central
贺匾。
Delegation, will present
请
commemorative plaque
武
to
警
Chinese
西藏总队司令员
People's Armed
李广
Police
全同
Tibet
志、
Unit.
武警西藏总队政委
And
周
receiving
建
the
新
plaque
同志
are
接受贺
Li
匾。
Guangquan from the Chinese People Armed Police Tibet and Zhou Jianxin, the Political Commissar of Chinese People's Armed Police Tibet Unit Command.
请汪洋同志接贺匾。
Comrade Wang Yang will now unveil the plaque.
现在，请中央代表团团长
Now,
汪洋同
Comrade
志
Wang Yang
向西藏自
will
治区
present
政法系
the
统赠
commemorative
送
banner
贺章，
to Tibet
请
political
自治
and
区
legal
党委常
system.
委、政
And
法委书记
accepting
何文浩同
the
志、
banner
自
are
治区政府副
何
主席、
文浩
公
Secretary
安厅厅长
何
张洪波同
文浩 and
志
Zhang
接
Hongbo,
受贺章。
Secretary and Deputy Secretary of CPC Tibet Politics and Law Committee.
请汪洋同志接贺章。
Comrade Wang Yang will now unveil the commemorative banner.
现在，请中央代表
And
团
now,
团长
Comrade Wang Yang, head of the Chinese Central Delegation, will present commemorative plaque to Chinese Buddhist Association Tibet branch. And receiving the plaque are Benjen Ordini, Chuji Jabu, the 11th Benjen Lama, and Drunken Fountain Kadrup, head of the Buddhist Association of Chinese Tibet branch. Comrade Wang Yang will now unveil the plaque.
And
now we give the floor to Comrade Wang Yang, head of the Chinese Central Delegation.
Comrades and friends, amid celebrations of the centenary of the Communist Party of China across the country, we are marking the 70th anniversary of the peaceful liberation of Tibet. Last month, Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, President of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission came to Tibet on an inspection tour. He hailed Tibet's development achievements in the past 7 decades since its peaceful liberation, and brought warm regards and best wishes to officials and people of all ethnic groups in the region. Today, entrusted by the CPC Central Committee and General Secretary Xi Jinping, the central government delegation has come to Tibet, bringing to you warm greetings of people across the country. We are here to jointly celebrate the people of all ethnic groups in Tibet, the 70th anniversary of the peaceful liberation. On the outset, on behalf of the CPC Central Committee, the Standing Committee of NPC, the State Council, the CPPCC National Committee, and Central Military Commission, I extend warm congratulations to Tibet Autonomous Region and extend greetings to officials and people of all ethnic groups in Tibet, and express heartfelt thanks to people from various sectors who have long cared about and supported Tibet in pursuing development and progress. The peaceful liberation of Tibet in 1951 was a major victory in the cause of liberation of the Chinese people and China's reunification. It marked a historic transition with epoch-making significance for Tibet. Since then, Tibet has embarked on a path from darkness to brightness, from backwardness to progress. from poverty to prosperity, from autocracy to democracy, and from closeness to openness. A thriving socialist New Tibet is standing tall and firm at the rooftop of the world.
阳性加前为卓朗托决的，几个边缘协会代表，制作人路去偏重三八系，证明其样子的经验的来源。
70年来
The past 7 decades have seen a historic transition in Tibet's social system. In the old Tibet, the reactionary and barbarous feudal serfdom was practiced, under which people were divided into 3 classes, with each class further divided into 3 ranks. Lower class serfs had no human rights or dignity to speak of. We drove out all the imperialist forces and carried out sweeping democratic reform, separated religion from political powers, and ended theocracy, and we established the People's Democratic Government. Several million serfs rose and held their future in their own hands. They cheered, "The sun of aristocrats has set, and our sun has risen." With the establishment of socialist system and regional ethnic autonomy, the rights of people of all ethnic groups in Tibet to equal participation in the governance of state affairs and to administration of affairs of the autonomous region are fully ensured. At the present, Tibet has over 35,000 deputies of People's Congresses and over 8,000 CPPCC members at various levels, 90% of whom are ethnic minorities. The past 7 decades have seen historic achievements in Tibet's economic development. In the old days, agriculture and livestock in Tibet were at the mercy of nature. Industry was non-existent, and a round trip between Xining and Lhasa would take more than 6 months. In 1951, the GDP in Tibet was merely 130 million RMB yuan, while the figure soared past 190 billion yuan RMB in 2020. Today, Tibet's annual grain output has been above 1 million tons for years. Its agricultural and livestock sectors, with distinctive features of the plateau, green industry, clean energy, and modern services are flourishing. During the 13th five-year plan period, Tibet hosted close to 160 million tourist visits. The autonomous region now has well-connected infrastructure, with Fuxing bullet trains speeding past the snow-capped mountains. Every administrative village is linked by roads, and 140 flights connect Tibet with the rest of the country and the world. All villages in Tibet are now covered by 4G network. The Gari Central Tibet Power Interconnection Project, crossing mountains at an average altitude of 4,500 meters, ended Tibet's lack of electricity once and for all. Across this ancient and snowy plateau of unique appeal, everywhere there is a scene of brimming vitality. The past 7 decades have seen historic changes in the lives of the people in Tibet. In the old Tibet, over 90% of Tibetans struggled for subsistence, and up to 95% were illiterate. Today, hunger and poverty is a thing of the past for people of all ethnic groups in Tibet. Per capita living space in Tibet is close to 40 square meters. The 15-year public-funded education is conducted across the region, ending the long-standing issue of school dropout. Endemics such as hydatid disease, Cushing-Bach disease, and congenital heart disease have been eradicated and prevented for the first time in history. The average life expectancy has risen from 35.5 years in 1951 to 71.1 years. People's lives are steadily improving. From the Jingsha River to the Sichuan River, from the Yarlong Zangbu Valley to the northern Tibetan plateau, people everywhere in Tibet sing in praise of their happy life. The past 7 decades have seen historic progress in ethnic unity in Tibet. We have followed a sound policy with distinctive Chinese features of addressing ethnic issues. We have ended the ethnic discrimination and estrangement prevalent in the old society, crushed separatist and sabotage activities committed by the Dalai Group and hostile external forces, and promoted common development and prosperity of all ethnic groups through joint efforts. The central government has invested huge manpower, resources, and funding to preserve and develop Tibet's fine traditional culture. The Tibetan language is used extensively. Precious classics such as the Epic of King Gasar were saved and collated. Close to 800 projects, including Tanka, Tibetan opera, Tibetan medicine, have been placed on the list of intangible cultural heritage. Religious beliefs of all ethnic groups are fully respected. More than 1,700 temples in Tibet have full access to water, electricity, the internet, firefighting, and other facilities. All of the 46,000 monks and nuns are covered by the government's social security scheme. The Potala Palace, the Zhuangkang Temple, and other temples and sites have been renovated and are under protection. Today's Tibet enjoys freedom of religious belief, social harmony, and ethnic amity. People of all ethnic groups are as close to one another as tea and salt, which go together in Tibetan butter tea, and all members of the great family of the Chinese nation live in contentment and happiness. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, Tibet has entered a new era, an era in which greater development and bigger changes have been made and more benefits delivered to the people than ever in the past. The region ranks among the top 3 in China in terms of annual average growth rate, and it has topped the country in terms of growth of per capita disposable income of rural residents. And also, urbanization rate has increased by 13 percentage points. Tibet was once the only place in China which had contiguous poor areas at the provincial level. Its poverty was most severe, the cost of poverty eradication was the highest, and the difficulty encountered was the greatest. However, thanks to unremitting efforts, 628,000 people from inhospitable, mountainous, and remote areas have been lifted out of poverty. 266,000 were relocated to new homes in valley townships and embarked on new lives. Together with the rest of the country, Tibet, as envisaged, finished the building of a moderately prosperous society in all respects.
忙做了开篇托忙学界给推入撒巴的教育，编着了罗里参用拍摄的，借用起人不松巴的来把他，重设起原民美的参用老多用不拍摄的，罗莽对嘛的借用给安堂不的来把，重点检讨就是亚界场内交算拍的语，群众呢。天个借用起新建人民极度有这起违背社会业绩的言行，违背起这些学校他违掉起马内脱学，违着起干内情绪戒淫，原性黑门起别人是为句，违背民保了车出去的你差也差嘛违着托他，每天你是走路差出，热到龙骨起各度切上来，上山重叠托那边起，这个来人重新，群众第二借用他念托，推个达了。军政体教所决心于
西藏和平解放70年的辉煌
We
成
owe
就，
great achievement and the miracle of
改天换
epoch-making
地的人间
transformation
奇
made
迹
in Tibet over the past
这是党中央坚强
77
领导的
decades
结果，
since its
是西藏
peaceful
各族
liberation to
干
the
部群
firm
众顽强
leadership
拼
of
搏
the
的结果，
CPC Central
也
Committee,
是全国人
the
民大力
indomitable
支持的
spirit
结果。
of officials and people of
长期
all
以来，
ethnic groups in Tibet
西藏
and
各
tremendous
族人
support
民
given by people
像
across
格
the
桑花一
country.
样
Over the
扎
years,
根
people of all
雪域
ethnic groups in
边陲
Tibet, like the Gaosan flower
坚守
that
之
bloom
足
in a snowy
团结
plateau,
奋斗
have struck roots
守
in the
护
region
神
and
圣
dedicated
国土
themselves to the
建
development.
设
With
幸
unity
福
and
家
hard
园
work, they have safeguarded our
成
sacred
千上
land
万
and
的
built
干部
up their
人才
homeland.
响应
Tens of
党的号
thousands
召
of officials and professionals
支援
across the
西藏
country
建设
responded to the call of the
以战
CPC
天斗
and
地的
come to
豪情
assist
壮志
in Tibet's development,
留下了
work with
感
heroic
天动
determination
地的
and left behind
光辉
touching
事迹。
stories of their glorious achievements.
你们的汗水和成
What
就
you have
汇
achieved
入了
with your
伟大的祖
dedication
国
here in
发
Tibet
展进
has
步的
become a
历史
part
洪
of
流
our great motherland's
你们的
historical
奋斗
achievement,
和贡
and
献
your endeavors
永远
and
篆刻在
contributions will
共和国
forever
的
be
历
remembered
史丰
by the
碑上。
People's Republic.
此时此刻，
At this very
我
moment,
们深切
we
缅怀
cherish a profound
为西
memory
藏
of
革
the
命
martyrs
建
and
设
heroes
改
who
革
have
事业
contributed their youth
为保
and
卫
even given their
和建
lives
设
for the
祖国
revolution,
边疆，
development
奉献
and
青春
reform of Tibet
乃至
and
生
for
命
the
的
defense
先
and
烈
development of
和
the
英雄
borderland
们
of our country.
他们的丰功伟绩
Their great
和崇高风
contributions
范
and noble
永垂
characters
青史。
will go down in the annals of history.
这是为金州党人和团结人体活动把为重建他，俺是记住去民语去我啥对不对呢？党中央去书面多点去国际单位来雄伟这不是他，而去米里看去连接把他忙做出别部亚人写不来雄伟这不是，也有民忙去书写亚标单位来雄伟这不是建议。对于人们呐，而去米里看去民忙呐，减少没多期限，抗中去探上所早晚处理，年娃看不设的。让人没别结棍送信，第一点别清晰准确。列举新的没启动忙别，当地别个谈多浪点，群众给组织了弱脚七八马些。那么的舍得给把人他落到了点点，那么是解决给民语给我咋对于？现那边我就他重建那，那些媒介给抗辩路据给，求决人民难图对头了，现那边别的他列举批完那，那么样极端结合给。路据多领托可是，各地当对呢，按照别个杀死他，组织脚脚些个查下他，每节个坦上送给他，组织查起，拦着他，他呢，厕所结束别个，文些帮我错了，陈述什么需求他，或者拉进个这些他，拉了没别娘上天，路据个贴点呢，气势怕了，可觉得。
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
当今世界
the world
正
today
经历百
is
年未有
undergoing
之大变
changes
局，
never seen in a century.
我国正处于实
And
现
China
中
has
华民族
reached
伟
a
大复兴
crucial
的关键
stage
时
in
期。
its endeavor to realize
全
the
面
great
建设社会
rejuvenation of the
现
Chinese
代化国
nation.
家
We
新
have
征程
embarked on a
已经
new
开启。
journey of fully building
西
a
藏
modern
经济社会
socialist
发展也
country,
站在
and
新
Tibet
的
has
历
reached
史
a new
起点
historical
上。
starting point in
我
pursuing
们要
its
坚持以
economic
习
and
近平
social
新时代
development.
中国特色
We
社
should
会思想
unswervingly
为指
follow
导，
Xi Jinping's thoughts
增
on
强私利
socialism
是
with Chinese
坚定
characteristics
四
for
个
new
自信
era as
做
our
到
guide,
两个维护
strengthen our conscience of the need
深
to
入
maintain
学习
political
习近
integrity,
平
thinking
总书
big
记
picture
在
terms
中央
for the
第
leadership
7次
core
西
and
藏
keep
工
its
作座谈
alignment
会
in
上
China's
的
competence in the
重
past,
要
theory
讲话精
system,
神
cultural, social, and
和
Chinese
在西
characteristics,
藏考
and
察
uphold
时
General
的
Secretary
重
Xi
要指示
Jinping's
精
core
神，
position. in both the Party Central Committee and the party as a whole, as well as authority and centralized unified leadership of the Party Central Committee. We should gain a thorough understanding of the important speech made by Secretary Xi Jinping at the 7th Central Working Committee on Tibet and important instruction of the major inspection tour in Tibet and fully implement the guidelines of the CPC for governing Tibet in a new era and fully implement the decision of the CPC Central Committee.
基座人路停入今天结构效用的组织切别，强调给那么三把对什么他，别个编制了他，基座狂别动就天呀，罗句给国组是三百脱离别。按照习近平给推了三边，中国科学电别基座人路给广播组织都解决他用切的，多些些手都动啊他，点最些点都动啊，松用泥土把这些就马些。机构书记习近平给中央给别个那段话的给熊们从的听准备托难为，给这松懈给广电他，别多实际能够给这做短给广播罗中顶上他，推了三边当给别将这句就用的拉得了，当中央给特殊规制团结年年节切的，抗中杀到第二，舆论结果他不再拖为狂别给留三把些东西，别人切割。
In order to achieve durable stability and high-quality development in Tibet, we should always follow the leadership of the CPC and march steadily on a path of building socially distinctive Chinese character of Chinese features. Without CPC, there will not be new China and there will not be new Tibet. Only by following the CPC leadership and pursuing the path of socialism can Tibet achieve development and prosperity. This conclusion has been borne out by Tibet's development over the past 70 years. We should gain an in-depth understanding of the important speech delivered by General Secretary Xi Jinping at the rally marking the centenary of the CPC. We should keep in mind the extraordinary 100-year journey of the CPC and keenly appreciate the fact that CPC leadership is the choice of history and of the people. And we should never forget where our happy life today comes from and who are making or making efforts to deliver even better lives for the Chinese people of all ethnic groups. We should draw inspiration from the history of the CPC, boost our confidence, and follow the CPC leadership with an even greater sense of purpose in thinking and action. 中国共产党面呢，中国三把用民事了，偏重三把用民事。当给国际他用他基础人路给着他们托决策，现在偏重方面他给用同样一把铁，落短距也偏人来让这图别电短吸引。机构书记习近平给短期给这松懈给广电，落中他拉到顶上去的，当给落给别的给决定权的，当给国际呢落去他民们给当个七八是一把他。 他这地基给创的抗内创他，每日看给忙做呢，创也不解决创的，所以给别本切不来创是因吧，创些什么都不解决嘛是，路据没龙托什么他，内陆了点呢，一切偏往了切的，当给干了年嘛他，当给结束岗位，三六让到他，恰就给让到，上面切把他点托当个。 We should enhance harmony and stability in Tibet and ensure national security and stability in the border areas. Tibet now enjoys continued social stability. This is an achievement which has not come easily and must all be cherished. We should have a keen appreciation of the distinctive features of Tibet-related work at the stage, strengthen social governance, and explore new ways of conducting it, and mobilize officials and the general public of all ethnic groups to forge an ironclad defense against separatist activities. We should see that religions in China and Chinese in orientation guide in Tibetan Buddhism in adapting itself to social society, and we should rally religious figures and believers around us in a joint effort to safeguard national security and social harmony. Tibet's development over the past 7 decades demonstrates that unity and stability is a blessing, whereas separatist activities and chaos can only lead to disaster. No one outside China has the right to point fingers at us when it comes to Tibet affairs. Any attempt to maneuver designed to separate Tibet from China is doomed to fail.
结个个电价塔坦上撒点东北，别个制造全用军队电领塔连续着性月别冲这天连拉布的拖把性民别，年把拖简直特别切个。别个来东西团上人心也解决空拖养塔去把钱的，制造决定了兄弟解决塔三对解决马些。米里看给连接把塔忙走了，谈不了点的，看着了某个前边他最给三江经济点到东北，人家去去路中国建筑幼儿园看着他用钱的，偏就南电梯，制造人路去制造塔，成吨用完了，这顿活大解决塔，去路里里去面的塔，天天忙走了，囤积钱的，一个个电价塔，制造西端电力送用差价，都需连接所表个，我囤积人去偏重旁边去路具偏里面。囤积塔电力呢，地基塔，卡着塔新龙呢，恰过一把热水土，其中给都需亲着些引入，别去来对了，提出前往电力没把塔，别卡着东北保有塔研究抗息相容，长嘛，彭军有记者。
We should foster a strong sense of the Chinese nation's one community, advance ethnic unity and progress. The Chinese nation is one big family. Harmony in this big family of our brings prosperity. Only when we foster a strong sense of community of the Chinese nation and when all ethnic groups work together in unison with the same purpose in mind, can we create a mighty force to achieve the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Efforts to raise public awareness of ethnic unity and progress should go hand in hand with efforts to raise awareness of core socialist values, of patriotism, of struggles against separatist activities, of contrast between old and new Tibet, and of the Marxist view of a country, history, ethnicity, culture, and religion. Such efforts will enable people of all ethnic groups to strengthen their faith in our great motherland, the Chinese nation, the Chinese culture, the CPC, and socialism with Chinese characteristics, thus solidifying the cultural foundation for the ethnic unity. A shared cultural identity underpins ethnic unity. The Chinese culture has always been a bond and fostered a sense of togetherness and belonging among people of all ethnic groups in Tibet. All-round efforts should continue to be made to teach standard spoken and written Chinese language. We should foster and share Chinese cultural symbols and image of the Chinese nation among all ethnic groups, and thus create a source of inspiration for the entire Chinese nation. We should protect and keep alive the fine traditional culture in Tibet and promote its creative evolution and development.
米里屯这亚屯给掐下了军队当官，中华米里呢，金藏起木是因别，金藏成吨穷呢，乔啊他们些他性节，极端方面都是十多当的，米里看给什么极度超过他，我手极度政策，现在中华米里拉进加达门脚的用为，积极都受极度制度。米里屯这亚屯给车站老师东西贴，制造人路给单位人当单位老师他，阶级人路给老师。看这了我国他最前为老师，别声音都为老师。提醒马个是人路去一个大瓦塔，路具个大瓦，米里个大瓦，人力个大瓦，去路个大瓦前给老师塔，送这些就他用的。拉不见美节塔，中华米里，中华以人力，中国共产党，中国科学电别制造人路前给，没事上面先把它切入当的，米里囤积去三六门是点都当过，人力个没事呢，米里囤积去刷子一么塔。中华人民呢，托他把松托，别给米里卡给再生给强势他，生给电视银，一个月继续给老师了，就用那兄弟结的，米里卡给两句前边，中华人民给传达他，中华米里给送年对的，中华米里给推蒙给300轻系中国，别给培中水军人的军人他送入前的，3对人心去来救他，空别找我了，军队当国。
We should follow people-centered development philosophy and promote high-quality economic and social development. Development is the foundation for achieving common prosperity and long-term stability. All development endeavors in Tibet should promote ethnic unity and progress, improve people's livelihood, and win people's support. We should fully, faithfully, and comprehensively implement the new development philosophy, see that the development of Tibet serves and becomes an integral part of the country's new development paradigm, and explore a path of high-quality development as suits Tibet reality. We should build on the success of poverty alleviation, advance rural development in all aspects, and carry out initiatives to develop border area and make life better for border residents. We should address each and every issue that is important to people's livelihood and see that people are often able to enjoy more benefits, be happier, and feel more secure. The CPC Central Committee's input in and support for development of Tibet will only increase, not decrease. With the attention given by the CPC Central Committee and support of the whole country, and with its own efforts, Tibet will surely achieve full modernization together with the whole country. We should remain firm in the belief that just elusive water and green mountains are invaluable assets. So are the plateau of ice and snow, and turn Tibet into a pace-setter in ecological conservation. The Qinghai-Tibet Plateau is known as the roof of the world and the water tower of Asia. Protecting the ecological system of the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau is the greatest contribution to the survival and development of the Chinese nation. We should act responsibly toward history, the people, and the world, and give priority to protecting the ecological system and pursuing green development. We should launch major ecological conservation projects and take a holistic approach to protect mountains, rivers, forests, farmlands, lakes, grasslands, deserts, and glaciers. The CPC Central Committee supports Tibet in building a national demonstration region in ecological conservation, supports it in piloting a comprehensive ecological compensation program, and supports comprehensive scientific research in the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau. We are confident that we will continue to keep skies blue, waters clear, and air clean in this snowy plateau.
抗中杀对南个铁卫我话他，全部铁卫谈话，可能铁卫张话借用话，俺子了以及他6个月。
同志们。
Comrades and friends,
伟岸的喜马拉雅
the
山
majestic Himalaya mountains have witnessed the sea change that has taken place in Tibet since its peaceful
奔腾
liberation,
的雅鲁藏布
and
江
the surging
奏响
Yalu
着新
Zangu
时代
River has
西藏
witnessed
发展
Tibet's
进步
development
的
and
恢
advances
宏乐
in
章
the new era.
让我们紧密
Let us
团结在
rally
以习
closely
近平
around the
为
CPC
核心的
Central
党中
Committee
央周
with
围
Comrade Xi Jinping at
弘
its
扬
core.
伟大
Live
建党
by
精神
the great founding
传
spirit
承
of the
好西
CPC
藏精神
and follow the example of the
两路
older
精神
generation engaged in
为
Tibet's
建设
development and those who construct the
富裕
Sichuan-Tibet Highway
团
and
结
Qinghai
富
Tibet
裕
Highway.
文明
And
和
let
谐
us dedicate
美
ourselves
丽
to
的
build
社
a
会主
new
义现代化
modern
新西
socialist
藏
Tibet that is
为实
united,
现中华
prosperous,
民族伟大复
culturally
兴的
advanced,
中国梦
harmonious and beautiful,
无
and
懈
achieve the
奋斗
Chinese dream of great national rejuvenation.
罗顿南巴塔，超过南巴，纪念协会日后喜马拉雅，和协会经济当选给不久的前部热追图瓦塔，让龙的出入为全部耶伦三个，推入三边偏重红别塔，亚团给积极年样联系员，按照罗顿习近平给首先让为党中央给他国的托，团结特色前的，拉边给党组领导塔边塔，各就给了别领导塔，让你给领导军政前的。 团结他99协别协团，制度界点别，制作人路听入间给偏重三八组织他，中华民力拉近加大给中国部队稳定的勇气，别准后面结果。
祝伟大祖国
May our great motherland
繁荣富强
enjoy prosperity.
祝西藏各族人民
May people of
幸福
all
安
ethnic
康
groups in Tibet
扎
enjoy
西德勒
happiness and well-being. Tashi Delek.
拉边的媒介，他给工作的点把他，各给米利卡的民马党，以及抗上勇为，民主数据营，这是的嘞。
现在，请
Now
自治区
let's
党委
give
书
the
记
floor to Party Secretary of
吴英杰同
Tibet,
志发
to
言。
Wu Yingjie, to deliver the speech. Distinguished Wang
尊敬
Yang,
的中央代表团，各位领
distinguished
导，
leaders from the
同志们，
Central
朋友们，
Delegation, dear
今天
friends,
我们在这里隆重集
today
会，
we are
热
gathering
烈庆
here
祝西
to
藏和平解
commemorate
放70周年。
the 70th anniversary
习
of
近平总
peaceful
书记
liberation of Tibet
高度重
Autonomous
视西藏
Region.
工作，
General
深切
Secretary Xi
关怀西
Jinping
藏各族人民。
gave high
前不久
premium on
亲临西藏
Tibet
视
work,
察指导，
and not long ago
看望
he
慰问
paid
各族
personal
干部群众，
inspection visit to
祝
Tibet,
贺西藏和平解
giving
放
regards
70周
and
年。
congratulations to the
近日
70th anniversary
又亲自为西藏
of
和平解
Tibet's
放
peaceful
70
liberation.
周年
And
题词
recently, he also
建设
gave
美丽
remarks
幸
and
福西藏，
instructions to Tibet
共圆
about
伟
building
大
a
复兴梦
beautiful
想。
Tibet
中共
to
中央、
realize
全国人
the
大常委会、
dream of
国务
great
院、
rejuvenation.
全
The
国
State
政协、
Council, CPC
中
Central
央军
Committee,
委
the
专门发来
CPPCC
贺电。
Central Military Commission
中
have
共中
also
央政治局常
sent
委、
their
全国政协主
commemorative
席
letters,
汪洋同
and
志
Mr.
率
Wang
领
Yang,
中央代表
senior
团
party
莅
official
临西藏，
from the
带来了
Political
以
Bureau
习近
of
平
Standing
同志
Committee
为核
CPC
心的
Central
党
Committee
中央
just
的
now gave
深情
us
厚爱
the
和美好
heartfelt
祝福，
care
西藏
and
各
best
族人民
wishes on
备受
behalf
鼓
of
舞
the CPC
无
Central
比
Committee
感
to
恩。
Tibet. We are grateful to
在
all of
此
those.
我代表
Here,
自治区
on behalf
党
of
委、
the
人大、
Tibet
政府、
Autonomous
政
Region,
协、
including
西
the
藏军
government,
区和
the
全区各族人民，向以
People's
习
Congress
近平同
and
志为核心的
others
党
to
中央
give
致
our
以
thanks
崇高的
to
敬意。
CPC Central Committee with
向
Comrade Xi
中央
Jinping
代
at
表
its
团
core
和
and
各位嘉
to
宾、
the Chinese
朋友
Central
们
Delegation and all the
表
guests
示
and
热烈
friends
的
present
欢迎。
here. Welcome to you
向
all.
在各个历史时期
To those who
为西藏
have
革命建设
cared
和改革
about
事
and
业
supported
奋斗
Tibet's
牺牲
reform
的
opening
革命
up
先
and
烈们
development,
表示
we would
深
also
切
love to
缅
give
怀
our tribute
向辛勤工作在
and
各
to
条战线
those
上的
fighting
工
on
人、
different
农牧
front
民、
lines,
知识
including
分
the
子、
farmers,
干
the
部、
herdsmen,
驻
the
藏人民解放军
intellectuals,
指战员、
cages,
武
and
警部队官
the
兵、公
garrison
安干警和
soldiers
消
from
防救援
PLA
队
in
伍指战
Tibet, the
员
firefighters,
向
the police
老干部、
officers,
老
the
战士、
veterans,
老同志、老工
the
程、
old
老
comrades,
模范以
engineers,
及
the
各界人士
labor
致以
examples, and
节日的
people
祝
from
贺，
all walks of
向
lives,
中央
congratulations
国
to
家
you
部
all,
委、
and
对口
to
援藏省市、
these
中央企
municipalities
业
and
以
provinces
及
and
所有
departments
关心
and
西藏、
ministries who have
热爱西
dispatched
藏、
their
支持西藏发展
supportive
进步的全国各族
delegates to
人民
Tibet
爱
and
国
to
藏胞
people of all
和国
ethnic
际友
groups,
人
the
表示
Chinese
衷心的感
nationalities
谢。
and international friends. Thank you for your support as well.
70年前，
70 years ago, the agreement on the peaceful liberation of Tibet announced the peaceful liberation of Tibet, allowing Tibet to get rid of the imperialists and allowing Tibet to embark on a new era of itself. In the past 7 decades, people of all ethnic groups in Tibet have observed the leadership of CPC Central Committee, and we share our destiny with the Chinese nation. We fought shoulder by shoulders and enjoy common prosperity, opening a new chapter of socialism and modernity.
党的18大以来，
Since the
在以习
18th
近平同
National
志为
Congress,
核心的党中
under
央
the
坚强
leadership
领导下
of CPC Central
在
Committee with
全国人民的
Xi
大力
Jinping at
支
its
持下，
core, and with the
全
support
区
of the
各族
Chinese
人民
people,
坚
people of
持
all ethnic
以
groups
习
in
近平
Tibet
新时
are
代
committed
中国特
to
色
the
社会主义
leadership
思
of
想
socialism
为
with
指导
Chinese characteristics
深
in
入
the
贯
new
彻
era by
总书记
General Secretary
西
Xi
藏工作
Jinping,
重要
and
论
we
述
practiced
和
the
新时代
instructions of
党的治
General
藏方
Secretary
略
Xi Jinping
全面
about
落实
Tibet's
中
development in
央
this new
第
era.
6次、
We
第
also
7次
exercised
西藏
the
工作
6th
座谈会
and
精神
7th Working
艰苦
Committee
奋斗
remarks
顽强
about
拼搏
Tibet by the
开拓
CPC
创
Central
新
Committee.
锐
We
意进取
endeavored to innovate
在
in
历
these
届党委
circumstances,
打
and
下的
also
良好工作基础上
on the basis of the
推动
work
治藏
laid by the
稳
previous
藏
party
新
committees,
藏事业
we
取
have
得
committed
全方位
to
进步、历史
rejuvenating
性成就，
Tibet and
社会
stabilizing
大局
development
持
achievements.
续稳定向好。
We have
坚
maintained
持
social
以防患于
stability,
未然为原
and
则
we
做工
also
作，
prevent different
以防
hazards
出
and
大
risks
事，
from
打基
breaking
础做
out.
准备。
We are
以敢
always
于担
prepared
当
for
落
any
实责任
emergency.
为标
We
准
also
看
hold this
待
personage
有
accountable,
力挫
especially
败
the
了西方
cages,
反华势
thus
力
successfully
和
cracking
达赖
down
集团
upon
的
the
系
separatists,
列
including
分裂
the
破坏
Western
活动，
forces and the Dalai
社
Group.
会治理能力全
Our
面
social
提升，
governance capacity
群
has
众安全
leapfrogged,
感不断
and
增强。
people have a higher sense of security here in Tibet.
深刻明
People of
白
all ethnic
团
groups in
结稳
Tibet
定
are
是
deeply
福，
aware
分
of the
裂不
importance
断
of
是祸的
unity
道
and
理，
stability and the
深知
hazards
今
incurred
天
by
和谐稳
separatism.
定的生
We
活
are deeply
来
aware
之
that
不易
the peaceful lives
我
they
要
are
稳定的
living
愿
now
望
are hard
更
won,
加
and
强
they
烈。
have higher
经济
aspiration
社
for
会实
stability.
现
Our
全面发
economic
展
and social
父
development
老
are
以人民
comprehensive,
为中心
and
的
people
发展思
orientedness
想，
is deeply
正
rooted
确
in
处理
people's
好13
minds.
对关系，
Handling the
坚持
relationship
困难
of
麻烦
different
由政
forces,
府解决，
and
把方便实惠
following the
送给
leadership of the
群众。
government to solve the
一切工
difficulties
作
and
都
delivering
向
benefits to the
改善
people
民生、
are all
凝
our
聚人心、
principles.
聚焦
We all work
经
for
济
the
发展
purpose of
成
improving
效
people's
显著，
livelihood.
城
We have
乡面
remarkable
貌
economic
今非昔
achievements
比，
with a
人
brand
民
new
生活
outlook of urban and
极
rural
大改
areas.
善。
People's
去
livelihoods
年
have greatly
全
been
区农
improved.
村居
Last
民
year,
人
for
均可
the
支配收入
rural areas, per capita
14,598 元，
disposable income
比
was
1959
14,000
年
RMB
增
yuan.
长了
That's about
416倍。
416 times more than the number in 1959. Our poverty alleviation efforts were a victory as well. We
绝对贫困问题，
shook ourselves
高校
from
毕业生就业率
absolute poverty.
连续
For the
保持
graduates
在
from higher learning
95%以上。
institutions, the graduation ratio has been kept above 95% for years. The Sichuan-Tibet Railway was opened to operation, and 99.6% of administrative villages have access to roads. Those roads have lighted up the snowy-peaked mountains in the plateau. The comprehensive energy grid and system were in place as well. Our telecommunication facilities are also well developed. Mobile payment and selling online have helped our villagers to get rid of poverty. We also have built up our ecological system. We have systematic governance of our ecology, the two rivers, and for smaller rivers have been regoverned, and numerous villages and households have been benefiting from this endeavor. The forest coverage ratio increased by 12.31%. Environmental quality has been improved. Green development landscape is taking shape. Green is gold here, and in the icy plateau, we also are practicing this principle of green is gold. Tibet enjoys the best environment in the world. In the border areas, we are also advancing the development by stepping up the transfer payment across the border lines with higher subsidies to the residents living in the border areas. 624 villages enjoying moderately prosperous society are established here in the border areas. In the 21 border lines, all of them have enjoyed designated help from the central departments. The people of all ethnic groups have been rooted in the border areas and are dedicated to the development of the border areas. They gave their life to this piece of land, and also they leave their footsteps and footprints with the achievements made with their efforts. We are writing a new chapter for this border area. We are safeguarding our territory, and we have high enthusiasm, unprecedented, to build this piece of land. The community with a shared future and of the Chinese nation is also formed here. We are also establishing the model areas with the ethnic progress. We also hold various activities to encourage the civil-military integration and ethnic unity. The fine traditions and culture in the different ethnic groups are being transmitted. The socialist fine culture is flourishing here. So the traditional Chinese culture is the shared bond of people of all ethnic groups in Tibet, and Tibetan culture is one integral part of the Chinese culture. That idea is agreed by all people here. People of all ethnic groups in Tibet cherish the achievements of ethnic unity. And just like the pomegranate, they are holding each other together and supporting each other. We are also protecting and respecting religious freedom. People of all ethnic groups hold a reasonable idea towards religions. And for the Tibetan Buddhism, it's being localized here. Party building is strengthened as well. We are practicing and observing the overall guideline of party building with the 3 solid philosophies. We are building the capacity of our grassroots level and cages. We are unremittingly governing the party according to the requirements, the leadership, the ideological guidance, organizational capacity, and social influence of the party members in this snowy-peaked plateau is being felt. And cages of all levels are becoming the leaders, taking people of all ethnic groups to ride along against the challenges and against the difficulties. The cages have become the solid political power to deliver benefits to the people. And people of all ethnic groups are also working around the cages of the party. They have their hearts towards the party, and Chairman Mao Zedong, Jiang Zemin, Deng Xiaoping, and the three generations of Central Chinese leaders and the CPC Central Committee with Hu Jintao at its core once have given us special care. And since the 18th National Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core has further consolidated our efforts with the instructions to Tibet Autonomous Region. The SOEs under the central government's administration has supported Tibet as well. Also, we have our thanks to people of all ethnic groups with their concerted efforts over the years. With practices, we prove that without the CPC, there would no longer be the New China and New Tibet. The CPC Central Committee has its guidelines and policies towards Tibet. They are completely correct. Only under the leadership of CPC Central Committee and with the commitment to socialism with Chinese characteristics and regional ethnic autonomy can Tibet enjoy a prosperous today and an even better future. Experience sent alert to us that the new strategy of the CPC towards Tibet is our textbook, as long as we can have a full understanding of those policies and conduct good deeds accordingly. We can conquer the difficulties with solutions, and we will have confidence towards those difficulties. As to the work in Tibet, we have unprecedented opportunities. For example, we have the leadership of CPC and General Secretary Xi Jinping's guidance, the support of all Chinese people, and the good foundation laid in the previous years. We also have the feasible measures and strategies accumulated before. As long as we can dig deeper and follow the previous paths, we can successfully realize our goals. So, dear leaders and friends, we are now celebrating the 70th anniversary of the CPC this year, and together with the Chinese people, we are embarking on the second centenary goal in Tibet. We will further unite around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core more firmly and observe the socialism with Chinese characteristics raised by General Secretary Xi Jinping, and we will also further cement our confidence and practice the two safeguards and other national policies. We will also implement the second, third, fourth, and fifth plenary session of the 19th Congress, and we will also execute the General Secretary Xi Jinping's instructions during his inspection visit to Tibet. Particularly, we will implement the remarks made by General Secretary Xi Jinping during the Commemorative Day of July the 1st. And also, we will implement the instructions given by Mr. Wang Yang just now. We will fully execute the new development philosophies in Tibet and actively integrate into the new development landscape. We will firmly work around the priorities of Tibet, work taking it as a starting point and our fundamental goal to exhibit the spirits of the CPC. We will carry forward the old Tibet spirit and the two roads spirit. With the high spirits, we will lead people of all ethnic groups in Tibet, including the Kagers, to further emancipate their ideologies and make solid efforts. We will work around the clock all year round to work on the four fronts and make concerted efforts to strive for long-lasting peace and stability and high-quality development, making new contributions to building a beautiful Tibet and the great rejuvenation. Long live the great motherland with prosperity, and may all Chinese people enjoy happy lives, and also we give our best wishes to a beautiful future in Tibet. Chai Si Delek.
现在，请西藏军区司令员
And now I would
王
give
凯
the
同
floor
志发言。
to Wang Kai, PLA Tibet military commander. Distinguished leaders, dear comrades, the CPC has just celebrated its centenary and is working towards the second centenary goal, and is embarked on its major historical journey. On July the 22nd to 23rd, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited Tibet and to celebrate the 70 years anniversary of the peaceful liberation of the Tibet. This is an important milestone in Tibetan history, and today, with the care and best blessing from the Central Party Committee and General Secretary Xi Jinping, we gathered here to celebrate this peaceful liberation of Tibet. And we look back to the past 70 years and look forward to a brighter future. And here we bear in lovely memory of the old generation of revolutionists, and we pay our highest respect to all of the people who have contributed their youth, their energy, and even their lives to the development and liberation of Tibet. And we also send our highest tribute to all of those who work for a better and more prosperous Tibet, a more moderately prosperous China, and to realize the Chinese rejuvenation. 70 years ago, the Central Party Committee and Chairman Mao has released the demand, and the soldiers of the PLA has marched across rivers and mountains and across thousands of miles to finally place the national flag on the Himalayan mountain, and thus embark on a new era, ushering a new epic era for Tibet. In the past 70 years, we have made remarkable achievement with the strong leadership of this party Central Committee and support of people of all the country. The local government and military commission have led people of all ethnic groups to create miracles that has never happened and unprecedented in the history of Tibet. General Secretary Xi Jinping has made detailed plans for development of Tibet, and unprecedentedly we have put forward this new blueprint for development of Tibet. At the centenary of the CPC, we can announce that the Tibet Autonomous Region has shaken off absolute poverty and is now embarking on a road of moderately prosperous society. And this is a major leap of development for us. In the past 70 years, we have fought bravely and heroically, despite all difficulties, and with the willingness to sacrifice ourselves and our lives for our country and for this region, in order to guard the border and fight against separatist activities, in order to safeguard national solidarity and safeguard the security of the Tibetan people. General Secretary Xi Jinping has been leading this effort, and with our blood and life, we are guarding the southwest borders of China, and this is an ironclad Great Wall by us. In the past 70 years, we fought with the people and the local government, and have always prioritized the interests of the people in order to realize the prosperity and development of Tibetan region. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, we've been following the guidelines of General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speech and remark, and forge a synergy to win one battle after another and win one victory over another. The army and the people have become a strong unison. In the past 70 years, we experienced major changes. The party has led us to usher in a new era and embark on a new road, and it will go down in history. We firmly believe that if we continue to follow General Secretary Xi Jinping's guidance, the tomorrow of Tibet will be more prosperous and splendid. In the past 70 years, all of our efforts, sacrifice, and creation that we've made is to practice the initial aspiration of our party, that is, for development of Tibet and for the well-being of the Tibetan people. On this new historical start point, we will continue to uphold the Xi Jinping thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and follow his important speech during his visit to Tibet, improve the 4 awarenesses and 4 confidences and the 2 safeguards. We will listen to the Chief Commander and answer to General Secretary Xi Jinping so that he can be rest assured. We will continue to strengthen our armed forces in all fronts, including politics and armed forces, so that we can continue to improve the power of our army. We will continue to strengthen our safeguarding of the borders and guard the borders with the highest loyalty to our nation. We will fight the war when it comes and win the battle when we need. This is our highest commitment and responsibility as the guardians of the borders of China. We will continue to play to the spirit of the old Tibetan area and the spirit of the Tuaregs. We will also follow the old revolutionary traditions and uphold the highest spirits and dedicate our lives and our efforts in this flagship. We will continue to carry on the policies of the Central Party Committee and the party government to develop the economy and strengthen the border safeguard security. On this new road, we will continue to write a brand new chapter for high-quality development. Please rest assured, the Central Committee and General Secretary Xi Jinping, we will not let you down. We wish a better and more prosperous Tibet, and may people of all ethnic groups in Tibet enjoy happiness and well-being. Tashi Dele.
Now,
请群众代表
let's invite
拉萨市
Tibetan Public
藏人社区
Representative
居委会主任丹贼同志发言。
Mr. Danzing.
推行这位无罪那么大，路队那么，现在公安上，俺明了，等人谁有，大路公路，都是那种，大家拉萨中间成功区，当然地区充分两港的主力人，让你新作为推面吸引别问呢，今天是为金州当地让我蹲住考啊，等对操进了数据中啊。身为层面贴中了，实际讲全部人生不多。
Distinguished leaders, dear comrades, my name is Tenzing. I am 60 years old. I'm from the Zhangren Neighborhood Committee as the director. Today, as the Tibetan public representative, to be present for this event, I am quite excited and I'm quite honored.
他妈我长龙兄新边，当给不只我，偏重的人，推动龙我就站南，民路东站改为穷越穷的，南沙老都被用多穷啊，俺让人一个你都乐心穷。中国共产党面呢，地大咱们民族的用民是不西，你们的人一呢，三不行的有。
I was born in the New Tibet, and I witnessed how Tibet transformed in just decades of time under the leadership of CPC. I am deeply aware that without the CPC, those wouldn't be realized.
당기 별로 시외 진주 당지 바라라 신의 채소 사바토바당 너민 냠좀 지규 종유 치소 당기 망조 내치디 신전 런로 따도 동하다 신전 다고 자매도 당월대 안소의 신의 라양 진주 토바당 이게 다고를 주디 또 처바잡아 서주이바당 도가 사바나 뒤주종아 서시다 노루게 고개 도바 你这个做完解决说，人一家推个上回结束你懂的，老郑之外不个不拉穷。铁大呢，我们古着可能民生往这一边来，俺做的龙是最完美，当个不就我，俺做的西呢，听完龙是最去从外看的，做完啥不西呢，俺这解决重松。
My dad used to say that in the old days we were living in the cottages of the cow of our owners in the feudal serfdom society. And my dad used to be sent to the temple as the monk, and then he served as the soldier. His family members thought that he was already dead, but then since the liberation of Tibet, my dad came safely back to home, and then the CPC fought against feudalism and serfdom. We were able to get some distribution of the livestock, and we could have access to food. I was lucky to be born in this peaceful times, and I have the access to education, which used to be the privilege of the elites, and now we are living a brand new life.
유미토 미리 로리 창용 용법 지 변전에 기본 뭐를 직지 책동 하점기 뭐시 교주 유바 마세 더동 치라 니 내가 내네 다른 용들이야 뭐를 시동 같은 단기 용법 유바 마세 가리 더동 수사다 총례 되네 총법 배배 마와热的 지기요 다다 김장 상관을 내가 사회나 별신에 모두 집중다 링류기 라토 카바체디 팅럽 소버 제시 더동出口路 站着 给连 숨이바다给后 给수 可是비바 나서다 매주 견주 제입에 현재 강야 제고민도 유미스 마오 주시行政 지도자 야랑 진주에 당하다 시 주시 벽이 미만능 유주 중대기 처수 체유지 휴식이 샘딩네 당기 거진 체바다 루지 선지기 당기 깔라 예바 당기 제소 장시이
Over the years, our neighborhoods were guided by the policies of CPC, and we also received support of all Chinese people. With our joint efforts, we are living a better life. Particularly, General Secretary Xi Jinping said that no one ethnicity could be left out of the moderately prosperous society. So we were called upon to develop accommodation and warehousing causes, and also we received the help from the central government with the precise support. No household was left behind. Every household could get 11,000 RMB yuan as dividend, and sometimes if they raise the animals and do businesses, they will earn more. Every household is buying new household, the new cars, and they are having the smartphones. For the kids, they have free access to education, and the elderly have access to the medical care support. And General Secretary Xi Jinping allowed Tibetans to march toward a moderately prosperous society, and we listened to the call of the CPC.
다당 안주의 소와 야군디 기주 총화당 교럽 사벌 교신바 딜 달라 진지 줍시바다 달래 루소지 통급 다도 신루 도시당내 회디 뭐만난다 망초 전도 거바다 코바도 구자 집에 교럽 민고텔 실로 처주 정의 창시 원체 만족 별량 장기 기본 제내 고화로도 취배 민지 송유 타다 상면 달래 긴지 주시보다 달래 루소지 동리我们 시바티 나도네 코바주용 고호로 때내 취미시라 미수시기냐 안주 다대디기 초월 도시 단에 동투기 말이라 달래 긴지 주시보다 달래 루소라 안주 타지도 탑주다 탑주 탈침부 체주이 늘 내 표지 망조 남에 첩슈디 가제 도시 동계니 안전 자원이보다 대중전이 칠름 역지다 샤도 루돈 조에 주주 권한래 매지 고도를 수주에
Unity and stability are our fortune, and separatism will be the great hazard. As a party member of CPC, I'm aware that all the happy lives of our common people are hard-won. Now, seeing that we're all having a new era, the 14th Dalai Group once endeavored to return the Tibetans to the old days of serfdom. Once some of our Tibetans have bought those lies, but now we see the true colors of the Dalai Group. We will never buy the words of them, and we would never allow our lives to be sabotaged. And for the 14th Dalai Group, we will fight against them until the end. Here, on behalf of the Tibetans, I have my words to them. Separatism is our enemy, and you have only a dead end, and you will be crashed down.
米日文红豆，直接出去习近平拍到片面，中央给米里卡给联系忙错了，当中央给强制托付那话全不当，米里卡给忙错给错啊，条约也不用为面对需难于，直接出去干面年纪，长面身忙政治通都比我是加不当，身定的直接出去各地。各地人长的毛主席的自由党各个七不行，直接说起习近平说了自由党各个七不当，按照垃圾总结了自由党各个属于。习近平连对不起一边问的，直接说起出去点边革命提大天个，人民给内部的外面给都是别的，头从两个罗处长开始先对不对？按照地区的米里卡的忙做那边，立体的、目的的，当给干了年不当，当给各地说吧，当给技术掌握节，就嘛是，当然地区的人米里团队党制作电力，从立体点把这个别对地区系统做贡献的，直接书记强制通过那话的，体量解决营。
Not long ago, General Secretary Xi Jinping paid an inspection visit to Tibet, giving the best regards of the CPC Central Committee to officials of all levels in Tibet. He gave the best wishes to our lives, just like the sesame, growing ever higher, and listening to his words, we were warmed in our bottom hearts, and we were grateful to him. Just like supporting Chairman Mao, we will continue to support and follow the guidance of General Secretary Xi Jinping, our great leader. As a grassroots level cadre, ever reminded of his words, I feel like I could further work for another several decades. We will continue to lead people of all ethnic groups to follow the guidance of the CPC, trying to build the Tibet Autonomous Region to be a model area with happy lives and prosperity to return to the care of the central leaders.
按照拉丁给当地人台湾尺度活动报道，拉丁民间台湾俺当节吧，尤其中共台湾制度点吧，米里卡给民望给说啊，台湾地基点不再用为，这是面对受军人。
党的恩情比海深。
The party gives many support to us, and we will ever be grateful to the party forever. So, on this commemorative day, we hope to give our best wishes to the CPC, to our motherland, and hope that Tibet could have a better future and people of all ethnic groups will have ever happier lives. This is the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.
Now we give the floor to Liang Nanyu, CNPC support team member based in Tibet. Distinguished leaders, comrades, good morning. I'm from the CNPC support team. I'm now working as the Deputy Secretary of Shuanghu County. It's my great honor to speak on behalf of all the support team members to join this 70 years anniversary of the peaceful liberation of the Tibet. Years ago, I answered the calling of the organization, and with great aspiration for the snowy plateau and affection for the Tibetan people, I said goodbye to my family members and embark on my journey to join the construction of Tibet. And in this Shuanghu County, with an altitude of more than 5,000 meters, I work closely together with the local members to improve the industry, the education, and medical industry, and have overcome multiple difficulties to make major progress and improvement of livelihood of the Shuanghu County. In 1994, the Central Party Committee has made a major decision to call for support to work in Tibet. Many enterprises and SOEs have sent their team members in support in Tibet. And this is a group of precious human resources and has won the trust of the local people, the local government, in all walks of life, in work and in life, in our daily life. All the people and officials and cadres of different minority groups see us as brothers and sisters, and they work with us closely to improve the local condition. And we pursue our highest aspiration with full passion, and we work with the local cadres closely to form synergy in order to make all-round improvement in Tibet, and we play a positive role in local development. In our practice, with sweat, wisdom, and tears and even lives, we have contributed and lived the spirit of supporting Tibet. General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that this spirit is part of the CPC spirit and part of our revolutionary ideals. We must continue our effort, and it has to be carried on by multiple generations. With the spirit, we overcame multiple difficulties and accomplished difficult missions, and we work at the forefront of poverty alleviation and border guarding. And we are also working at the front line of COVID-19 containment. In the 9th mission in support of Tibet, we have finished more than 224 projects, of which more than 180 involves the borders. We also pull all of our strengths to achieve major projects and achievements. And altogether, we have been involved in more than 7,000 projects, and with a total investment of 60 million yuan. We also pay special attention to poverty alleviation, education, and medical services. We form groups and organizations to join all kinds of poverty alleviation efforts and activities, so as to improve the benefits for the local people and a sense of happiness, as well as the sense of security. We are especially good at communication and integration with the local people, and we serve as the bridge that connects the cadres with the local people. We have formed multiple activities to improve unity and connections of the local people with the other parts of China. People of all ethnic groups are united together in a tight fashion. We also showcase our positive image in our daily work with very high standard and requirement. We continue to improve our own capabilities. We serve as the examples and in cultivating the local
雪山依旧巍峨
officials.
西藏换了人间
Tibet has undergone major changes in the past
党
70
中央关于
years,
对口援藏的重大决策
and it is now a proven fact that our decision
完全符合
to support development of Tibet made by the CPC Central Committee is a wise one,
根本利益
and it serves the
我
greatest
们将时
interest
刻铭记总
of the
书记的
Tibetan people
殷殷重托
and
以永不懈怠的精神
the
状态
cadres of all ethnic
一往无
groups.
前的
We will continue
奋斗姿态
our good efforts
助力
and
抓好4件大事
work in
努
the
力实
four
现
major
4个确保
affairs and ensure
在全面建
and
设
realize
团
the
结
four
富裕
ensures
文
in
明
order to build a
和谐
united,
美丽
prosperous,
的
culturally advanced,
社会主义现代化西
harmonious,
藏
and
新的赶考路
ecologically
上
friendly Tibet.
书写
And
新
we'll
篇
write
章
new
做出
chapters
新
with
贡
our
献
own efforts and
发言完毕
contribution. That's all for my speech. Thank you.
现在
Now
我宣布
I declare
庆祝西藏和平解放70周年大会
the event to
圆满
celebrate
结
the
束。
70th anniversary of peaceful liberation of Tibet comes to an end.
免配席位紧追党难，落论据口位，定制促进，庸俗军之位，掐着切举营。